Pull up a chair, the stories begin. Patrick and Randy are letting you in. From the desert lights where the big names are, it's big conversations, little bar. Athletes and dreamers, stars of the screen, leaders and builders, and all in between, sharing their journeys, how they've come this far. It's big conversations, little bar.
Welcome to Big Conversations, Little Bar, the Coachella Valley's favorite podcast, recorded live at Skip Paige's Little Bar in Palm Desert. Get ready for another fascinating hour of meeting people who make the desert city such a spectacular place to be. Now, nestled in their corner booth perch, well lubricated and raring to chat, here's Patrick Evans and Randy Florence.
Thank you very much. That is Howard Hoffman, the voice of Big Conversations Little Bar. We are here at Skip Paige's Little Bar in the corner booth, the capacious corner booth. We take up most of Skip's revenue.
What?
It's capacious. It's large.
Oh, okay.
There you go. We have a man of letters with us
Well, that
today.
explains why I've never been called capacious.
That is the voice of my co-host, Randy Florence. And you will not hear John McMullen because he bailed on us.
Okay,
for good
he's
reasons.
been pounding on the door for the last half hour. As we record this is almost a valley-wide holiday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Patrick Evans' birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Evans.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Let me
Thank
get
you.
my club soda.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So what have you done to celebrate it?
my wife and I went to Temecula. We tasted a little wine, and we saw Peter Noon of Herman's Hermit.
I saw that, and you were backstage with Peter.
We were hanging out back with Peter. Yeah, it was cool. He was quite delightful. Peter Noon knows how to, he comes into a room, and this is a guy, he's been around. They actually preceded the Beatles as part of the British invasion. He still has that charm. His voice was amazing. He still sounds like he sounds on the albums. And I was talking to their sound guy, and he's, we don't sweeten it. That's just Peter.
No auto-tune, huh?
And as a bonus, Vance, his lead guitarist, is a huge Star Trek fan. So he saw my lapel pin and he was going nuts.
Oh,
We
very
had a little
cool.
bromance going on. We have I'm so excited about this. We've had illustrious guests in the past.
We have. There was that one
There
a
was-
year and a half ago.
This is what we call a filler episode.
This is one you can listen to on the way to Thanksgiving with the family. Paul Feig is here, the director, actor, writer, producer of Gin,
Emmy-nominated, author.
There you go.
Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, created that.
That was a fun show.
That was fun. It's
And-
been 25 years since that show.
Has it really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Good
Crazy.
gracious. Well, Paul, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your birthday, your illustrious birthday.
Indeed.
This has got to feel like pretty much the pinnacle of things. Huh?
I think it's
sitting in this booth.
This is, you can't go any higher than this. Exactly.
This is it.
I'm very happy.
This is it. Yeah.
I don't think a single career has been ruined by sitting here.
Until today.
Mm.
When I see something terrible and it goes viral.
you would be our first canceled
There you
guest.
go.
There's no doubt
There you
about
go.
that.
I had the pleasure of having you on Eye on the Desert earlier. We got to chat a little bit, and it was nice because it reminded me of all the things I forgot to do. Say the name of your gin.
Oh, there you go.
We were holding the bottle. Never said
You
the
got
name.
a good close-up, I saw.
We
It was
did. We
great.
did. Artingstall.
Artingstalls. Yeah.
Artingstalls.
Yeah, my mother's maiden name.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, there you go. That was. Now we're done. That was the only question I had. How'd you name that? So-
Thanks for listening,
No,
everybody. Little bar, little show.
Little bar, littler show. No, we're really delighted to have you because you got also a brand new movie coming out. And well, by the time this podcast is on, it will be out.
Probably.
Housemaids.
Yes, The Housemaid.
The Housemaid.
Yeah. Based on a best-selling book by Frida McFadden that's been on the bestseller list for about 2 years, and a very popular book. And it's starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Skolinar and McKelly Maroney.
That's a pretty big deal with that cast.
Yeah, I lucked out. It's too bad they're not more attractive, but
It's a good idea to get people that aren't as good looking as you are.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly. Right. I'm like the troll on the set. He comes up from behind my
Gollum.
monitor. Like, can you do this, please? The rings.
Yes, just stay away from me. Yes, I'll do it.
Look
So
away.
how did that project come together?
That was, I was doing a movie called Another Simple Favor, which was a sequel to a movie I did called The Simple Favor, and they were both for Lionsgate. And they were really happy with how this sequel was coming out. And behind the scenes, my producing partner, Laura Fisher, had been aware of this project and was chasing it for me But since I'm known as a comedy guy, even though the Simple Favor movies were more thrillers, I think they were not sure if I would be right for it, but then they were so happy with what we were doing with Another Simple Favor that they offered it up to me. And Sydney Sweeney was already attached, and I've been dying to work with her.
So you were okay.
Yeah. I was
taking that job.
Yes. Yeah, I know, really. Oh, that's a best-selling book, great script, beautiful actor. Yeah. So so I came on board that, and then we put the rest together. It was quite a whirlwind because I actually came on board probably like October, and then we started shooting in January.
Of last year.
Wow.
Of this year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah. So we shot it in 34 days, one of the fastest shoots I've ever done. But it came out great. Really.
Was there a
happy with
particular
it.
reason why it had to be that fast, or was it just
Budget. Budget.
Got it.
That's all we do.
On time and under budget, and
Yeah.
the studio will hire you again.
And I'm always coming under budget, always coming on time.
Well, it makes you a darling of the studios, I'm sure.
Well,
Plus,
I'm
you
a
turn out
producer,
great
too.
work.
Yes, I'd like to.
He's done a couple of things.
Done a couple of things.
He's got a few.
What you mentioned, and I wanted to dive into this just a little bit, you are known as a comedy guy, even though you did these two thriller films, which you clearly enjoy. You said it's the genre you like to watch.
Yeah, I love thrillers, yeah.
Is it hard to get a studio to come around? Do directors get pigeonholed like actors? Some actors do?
Yeah, it's very easy to get pigeonholed just because they go, oh, we don't know if you can do this. But I came from the TV world, basically, because I created Freaks and Geeks. But then after that, I did about 10 years of directing television, doing The Office and Arrested Development, Nurse Jackie, and a million other shows, Mad Men and stuff. And what I loved about TV directing is you're working in a different genre every week. So one week I'm on a medical show, next week I'm on a drama, next week I'm on a big broad comedy or a docu-series or whatever. So to me, every new genre is a new opportunity to play and have fun. So I love jumping genres. If you look at my body of work, every one is a different genre, really. And I'm just trying to work my way through all of them.
Do you have a preference?
I really do love thrillers. You know what? Because I love doing comedy, but with thrillers or even horror, all comedy now is coming out of those genres. If you look at a movie called Weapons that came out this year, that's a funny movie. It's scary, but then it's really funny at the same time. And I think a lot of us in comedy are gravitating towards that because it's higher stakes storytelling. So the audience gets more involved, but then you can still pay off the laughs through extreme characters or through just extreme reactions of these characters. And then you get both the visceral response of like the audience jumping or being scared, and then they laugh. And that is like doubling up on the response.
And
you get.
prior to that, was it just that everything had to kind of stay within a lane? They didn't want you to go for laughs if you were doing a thriller.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to make my comedies emotional. I was trying to treat them like a drama underneath, and then we just make them funny because you'd have to have the characters and the emotional arcs have to be there. But yeah, for a long time, it was you couldn't do what they called mixed genre. So you go, either it's a comedy or it's a drama. And I was always like, no, I want to mix the two up because it's like life.
Yeah.
Nothing's
life
all
is
funny or all serious. And yeah, like here.
With The Housemaid, the source material, I know that you really admired. That you said that it's a fantastic book.
Yeah, really good book. Yeah, which is not often you get to make a really great book into a movie. Sometimes it's a book that's good and you have to bump it up, or the idea of the book is good, but it's not written cinematically enough, so you have to up the story. So this one kind of worked out that the book's really well written, and then we just got to plus it up, and we went beyond the ending of the book that the author loved. She actually said that our movie is better than the book.
Wow.
So I know that's
really high praise because most of the time everyone's like, oh, the book was better.
Yeah, no, 100%. And she said, I said, can I say that publicly? And she said, yeah. I'm like, great. Okay, cool. She even posted it on her website. So great.
And it's been said now on Big Conversations.
There you go. You heard it here
it is
first.
on the record.
So let's start from the beginning. So you mentioned that you're from Michigan. Your mother was a telephone operator. Is that correct?
Yeah, she worked for Ma Bell, as she called it, in Canada. She was Canadian and worked in Toronto, but she grew up in Windsor, Ontario. But then my dad was from Detroit, and so they met through a church group going back and forth between the two countries. And but they got married late in life. They were like 38 which back then was like being 60 or whatever.
Yes, to be 60.
Yes, exactly. And they had me when they were just about to turn 40, so I barely made it out. But
I'm sure it was on purpose.
yeah, exactly. That's right. They're having such a good time. Okay, all right, let's pick this kid
And
up.
Dad was a retail store owner.
Yeah, he owned an army surplus store.
So was there a lot of humor around the family growing up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My family loved comedy, but my mom loved really silly comedy, and my dad liked really smart joke-telling comedy. And so that's why I would say I'm high and low, because I got my mom's goofy sense of humor, but then my dad's kind of raconteur, verbal. He was one of the guys who could tell those like 5-10-minute jokes, which normally if people start those, you're like, oh God, please just end this. But he could just spin a story.
He made an act out of it.
Yeah, and people would be wrapped at the dinner table with him. So I really learned a lot from both of them.
He was Smothers Brothers and she was Laugh-In.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got both of those.
I did get both. Yeah, because my dad, he used to go to these nightclubs and he would write down all the jokes that what he called the MC would do, which was, I guess back then was what the comedian was who would host the show. So he had this giant joke file of all these old like nightclub jokes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And then when I did my magic act as a freshman in high school, I was a magician back then. I did it for him, and he goes, oh, you got to have some jokes in there. So he gave me all these jokes that were fairly off color, and I ended up winning the talent show.
I bet.
Yeah.
So you were raised Christian Scientist.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was.
How has that kind of informed things as you grew up?
He asked as I sip my martini.
Do you know you're not supposed to be drinking alcohol?
Exactly.
That was really my question.
There you go. Yeah, it's named after my mother, who was Christian Science. So there you go. It was the thing I will say that I'm not religious at all. The one thing I will say that was good about it is very new agey, and it was more don't immediately rely on medicine or whatever. So I have a really good immune system because I didn't really take any medicine growing up. But now I go to the doctor and do all that stuff. But I thought it laid a good foundation if you took all the dogma and stuff out of it.
Was it a challenge as you started to move on to some of the things in the career? Did that ever?
No. By the time I was 15, I was a real science head. I know you're a science fiction fanatic, and as am I. And my mom saw it coming because I got really into science. And I remember when I was 15 years old, she took me out to lunch and she said, look, I know it's probably going to be hard for you to bring religion and science together. And so whatever you decide you want to do, I support that. Which is really
conversation
cool.
for a mom to have.
Especially
very cool.
at 15.
Yeah. But she just saw I was so into astronomy and stuff and sci-fi and all that. And it just...
And you're like, screw that, Mom. I'm going into TV.
Yeah, exactly. I'm making money off of this stuff.
Our youngest is 17, and I have a hard time telling her just to fill up the gas tank before she goes on a long trip. That's great that you're able to have those kinds of conversations with her.
Tell her to go to Morongo because the gas is cheaper.
That's right.
So did the writing and TV bug and all of that happen while you were in Michigan?
Yeah. I always wanted to be a performer. Like my goal when I was like 5 years old, I was in the school play as this elf, and I got a huge laugh because everybody was making fun of the way that I dressed. My father outfitted me in this army surplus like elf costume because they told all the parents like dress your kid as an elf, and so they all had these. They look like professional costumes. They look like elves. And my
Real
dad,
elves.
Yeah, my dad was like, oh, for God damn it! Like, so he takes me down to the store and he got me these like olive dress, those OD
Camo.
green, yeah, like green boxer shorts and this weird like suspenders, and they got this head like watch cap, like a knit cap, and he put like a cotton ball on top. And then for my shoes, he got these giant army socks, and he put big pieces of foam in the front, so I had these enormous feet. So when I walked out, the audience just went bananas, like laughing at me, clearly. But
and you knew where you wanted your
all
life
I
to
heard
go.
was like, I want to hear that the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's intoxicating, isn't
Oh,
it?
it totally is. Totally
That's
is.
so
Yeah.
cool.
That's where it started.
Yep, there it is.
Big giant feet. Later went into porn.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it was a journey.
So
He's gone totally legit
When-
now.
Yes, exactly.
when did it start moving towards Freaks and Geeks?
It was a long road. It was starting when I was 15. I started doing stand-up comedy in there was a nightclub. There was 2 comedy clubs. The comedy club scene was just starting in the late 70s because of a show called Make Me Laugh. I don't remember that. It was Bobby Van, I think, was the host, and it had a host of like regular comedians on there, like a guy named Gary Muledeer and Bruce Babyman Baum. And
Gary Muledeer spends a lot of time out here. I've gotten to know him over
oh, you're
the years.
kidding me!
Yeah,
Oh my
no,
God, he was one of my heroes back then.
Oh, he's terrific.
Yeah, and you had a guy like Mike Binder and all these people. And it was a game show where two contestants would come out. One would come out for 30 seconds, and the comedians would do an act. And until they laughed, they got points. But it was just an excuse to have stand-up comedy. But that, for some reason, I think just made everybody go, "Oh, we can do stand-up." Like it made it more accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they opened some comedy clubs in Detroit, and when I was 15, I wanted to do it because Steve Martin was my hero, and George Carlin and all those guys. And yeah, so I had to take my parents down to...
Very different guys. Steve Martin's so zany, and I remember his comedy shtick when he first started out.
Wild and crazy guy.
And George Carlin, a whole different kind of...
There's my mom and my dad.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, totally.
The arrow through the head with Steve Martin, and George Carlin doing the 7 words you can't say.
Yeah. One of the most brilliant things I ever saw in my life was George Carlin came to my hometown, because we were living right outside of Detroit, in this little amphitheater, and he did 3 hours, and it was unbelievable. I've never seen somebody hold an audience that in the palm of their hand for 3 hours, but he was a master, like bringing you up and then giving you a break and bringing you back up and giving you a break. And I saw him many times over the course of my life, but
Did that help you with your act?
Yeah, I learned a lot. When you go into stand-up, you learn a lot from your heroes. And what you tend to do is you tend to copy your heroes until you find your own voice. Because I was also really influenced by Richard Lewis. His cadence was the way that I talk. So I think I started doing my act when I started doing it more professionally, kind of as an offshoot of him, and then eventually found my own thing.
I loved watching him. I would sneak out of my bedroom to watch The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And then later on Letterman, and see all of those great stand-ups. Richard Lewis was the deadpan humor he had, and the whole thing about sex is, "Oh, you're on my hair."
He's the first guy who did the From Hell, the Trip from Hell, and all that. We thought it was so, then nobody copied it. But I just love that kind of neurotic sort of.
So where did your 15-year-old material come from?
Oh, it was terrible. It was like Johnny Carson kind of jokes from The Tonight Show. So just corny jokes.
But it was all original.
It was all original, yeah.
Nobody was writing for you at 15.
No, God, no, exactly. But I was just taking his jokes and bending them a little bit to Detroit. But then I didn't, and I would telling New Jersey jokes in Detroit because he would tell New Jersey jokes. And so I realized everybody was laughing at me, again, because you're a 15-year-old kid up on the stage. It was a biker bar that they turned into a nightclub, into a comedy club, like 2 nights a week.
Oh, that's funny in and of itself.
It was a rough place. It was like in a really bad part of Detroit. And here's my parents, 2 churchgoers sitting there. Here we are.
That's our son.
Yeah, that's my son.
Were you usually the 2 o'clock in the morning?
No,
he's 15. He can't be out that late.
Exactly.
Good point.
No, they would actually give me a good spot. Just I think
They let him into a biker bar. I don't think they're worried about what time he was there.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody's checking my ID. No, but it was interesting. There was like when I was doing it, starting there, like Tim Allen was coming up, and what's his name? He was on that Full House show.
John Stamos?
No, not Stamos.
The other guy.
Not Bob Saget, but the other guy. You know who I'm talking about. Dave Coulier.
Coulier.
Oh, yeah.
Who was always really nice to me, by the way. He would always give me pointers and stuff. So
I'd kind of forgotten that he did stand-up. Because you always think of Bob Saget.
Yeah. No, Saget.
Bob was funny.
Saget was so funny.
But yes.
Everyone's fun.
When I watched Bob Saget, because like my exposure to him was on that TV show, but then you see a stand-up.
Were you shocked the first time you saw him to like HBO or something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was so dirty.
My God.
Oh, dirty. You know who surprised me many years ago? I went to the University of Virginia, and on their 150th anniversary, Bob Hope.
Oh, yeah.
And he popped out of a cake at the football game.
What?
And he did his usual Bob Hope.
Hey,
but then he did stand-up that night, a show at the arena, and I went, and he was surprisingly not clean.
Oh,
really?
Interesting.
Surprisingly not. I was like, holy shit, this is Bob Hope.
You remember any of them?
Yeah,
no, I don't remember any
of them.
them.
He's not the NBC Bob Hope special guy.
Yeah. And I think the whole crowd, because we were so used to seeing him do the NBC.
Well, horny stuff. It was like Jay Leno.
It's
like
Thursday, so it must be Nang.
But Jay Leno was like, when he was on Letterman, he was hilarious. And then when he took over the Tonight Show, he went for more kind of standard Tonight Show jokes. And you always go, no, Jay Leno's really funny. Go see him in a club when he does his regular act. But people always had to clean up their acts so much that it made it not as much fun. But I have a little bit of a Bob Hope obsession.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just because I love all those Road to movies and stuff. And I love his early stand-up was really fun. And so I have 2 paintings of Bob Hope that belong to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one that was in his office from the 40s that was sat next to his desk his whole career. I've got that out here in Palm Springs at my house. And then another one that was in Phyllis Diller's house because she was obsessed with Bob because he gave her her career.
Yeah.
And so she had this big portrait of him, older Bob Hope. He's sneering and he looks kind of evil. So that's in our conference room at my company.
He has an interesting reputation out here. A longtime resident here in Toluca Lake, I guess.
Yeah, that's where we live. Yeah.
So we're moving you towards Freaks and Geeks. You're a 15-year-old
we're still
stand-up.
at Freaks and Geeks.
You're a
Oh, my
15-year-old
God.
stand-up.
This
We
is
got
gonna
to
be-
talk about.
It's only an hour-long
This would be
podcast.
sure
I mean, he's got a big career.
Yeah.
How'd that come together? How'd that whole team?
Yeah, I was an actor for 15 years after being a stand-up, and then slowly saw the writing on the wall of I'm going to have just middling acting career and always going to be scrounging for money. And my wife kept saying, you should go into directing because we know all the sitcom directors that I was on. But then I made a movie out of pocket because I was on a show called Sabrina the Teenage Witch the first season, and that was successful. So I had money from that. So I took it all and I put it into this little film called Life Sold Separately, which is a feature-length film that I shot for $30,000 in a field, in the middle of a field. And I liked it, but it didn't go. It didn't. I couldn't get into any film festivals or anything. So in that year after that, because they didn't bring me back to Sabrina the Teenage Witch for the second season. They just wrote me out all of a sudden. So I suddenly had bankrupted the family.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah. Oops. I guess I'm working at a bookstore now. And it was when I was out on the road with that movie, because I got into this one traveling film festival that went to colleges. I just like, I got to write something. And so wrote the pilot for Freaks and Geeks just while I was out on the road, and then sent it to Judd Apatow, who I'd been done stand-up with for years. And he had a deal at DreamWorks coming out of the Larry Sanders Show. And so he called me up the next day. I want to sell this to DreamWorks. Let's get this made.
Was there a character that was you?
Yeah, the Sam, who's played by John Francis Daley. But yeah, that was definitely me. And the Linda Cardellini role was basically, I was an only child, and I always wished I had an older sister.
So you made her up.
Yeah, I made her up. I made up my perfect older sister.
Because she'd have friends.
Yeah, she had friends, but she was cool and she was really smart. She knew all the girls and stuff. Yeah, and so that's where it came from. And then we sold it to NBC.
And so Time Magazine says you're one of the top 100 TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
And you don't make it past 12 episodes?
18.
18 episodes.
Yeah.
That was a
days
full...
when you did... No, you did 22 episodes back then. Yeah. Or 24, actually, was a full season.
Oh, wow. Oh,
back then.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we got canceled.
Were you shocked?
Not really that we got canceled, you mean?
Yeah.
No, because our rating, we were just the bottom of the ratings every week. Which, hilariously, we had 7 million loyal viewers. It was our baseline.
And you probably still do.
Yeah, there you go.
Now,
But today, that would be a giant hit.
That 7 million would be a runaway number.
Yeah.
Number one show.
But back then, we were like bottom-rated shows.
It's crazy how the audience is just so fragmented today. But you did a lot of great television over your career, directing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was very lucky.
We talked a little bit briefly about Mad Men, but what were some of your favorites?
The Office. I mean, I did 19 episodes of The Office over the course of 5 years. That was fun. Arrested Development. I did 6 of those over
That cast had to be just unbelievable.
That, Randy, is exactly your type of humor.
Oh.
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Listen to all the guys on Smartless.
Yeah, well, I know all those. Will Arnett was, to me, one of the funniest people I ever worked with. They would have to move my video village like further and further away because I would just burst out laughing because he would just because it's that so serious thing, like, and he's saying the most ridiculous stuff and
Thinking he's a real magician.
Oh no, totally, all that stuff, and just all the way he would kind of term things and be all angry about stuff, and just it's so funny.
And everybody on that show has done okay since.
They've done pretty well. I know. I've been lucky. All the shows I've been on or created, everybody's gone on to do good things.
What was your first paid gig?
Oh, as a director or as
anything in the business?
It was the biker bar.
Was it the biker bar?
No, there was no money there. No money in the biker bar.
Tips?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was one. They told him to leave, not come back.
That's right. I think my first real, other than getting paid for stand-up, was the first real acting gig, real, quote unquote, was on Facts of Life. I did a guest spot on Facts of Life. Yeah.
That was a big deal. Did you realize what a big deal it was?
Yeah, I really did. But then the role was so terrible. It was a show. The episode was called The Ratings Game. And it was about the girls it was back when it was like, who's a 10, who's an 8, who's a 6. And so the girls throw a party and they're going to invite a bunch of hot guys, but they also accidentally invite 2 nerds. Guess who's one of the nerds? And they literally had me in a propeller beanie.
Oh.
Yes. And we were like, 2 nerds. And it's, okay, the 2s are here. And it's like, all right. So I remember this is a big break, and at the same time going like, this, I don't like this.
This is the worst big break ever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How did that come together?
Yeah, that was a casting director who knew my stand-up brought me in, Meg Lieberman, and she brought me in early, and she grilled me on how to do the role and everything. So she really wanted me to get the role.
But you brought your own beanie.
No, yes. The beanie was a surprise when I got to set.
Yeah, he said, I have an idea about my character.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a studious nerd, like kind of hot, and he takes his glasses off, and it didn't work.
All right, we're going to continue our conversation with Paul Feig in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break to acknowledge our presenting sponsor, the McCallum Theater, supporting Big Conversations Little Bar. So please do your part and support the McCallum Theater.
Paul Anka live at the McCallum Theater, January 2nd through 4th. Experience all the hits, including
Put your head on mine.
and many more. Join us for an intimate evening filled with the legendary songs behind a 7-decade career. See an icon live on stage. Get your tickets now at McCallumtheater.org.
All right, this is about the most fun you can have on a Monday.
Isn't that crazy?
And so you're a part-time resident of the Coachella Valley now.
I am.
So we can do this often. Is it like a Monday thing?
I'll be like your
Is that your way of looking for a new co-host?
I'll be your announcer.
Wouldn't be the first time he said it.
There you go. We got something
Yeah,
to talk.
you could take over Howard.
Randy, we've got some news for you.
That's right. We were going to wait until the end of the episode.
How awesome is it, though, that it was broken by Paul Feig?
There you go.
I was fired by Paul Feig.
And on-air firing, the best kind.
I want to talk about gin
Yes,
because it is one of your great passions.
it is. It truly
And you're sipping on a martini right now.
Compare and contrast.
is. That's right. It's Ford's gin, which I like Ford's gin, but it's not as good as my gin.
All right, so the gin that you invented,
Yes.
created, named after your mother's maiden name,
Yes, Artingstall.
Artingstall.
Yeah.
And when did your love affair with gin begin?
Back in my 20s, I flashback way earlier when I was a kid, and I got taken to Las Vegas with my parents when I was about 6 or 7 because they were going to a Muhammad Ali fight. But they put me in the nurse.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Wild.
That's very cool.
That's a pretty big
I didn't
deal.
get to go to it though. Exactly. No, I didn't. You kidding me? I thought
Were
it was.
they-
I
Were
thought
they
it was
boxing
gonna.
fans?
I think my dad was. Yeah, and
Because that's
But you
not
didn't-
like a random thing to
But
show
you didn't
up
have to be a boxing fan to go see Muhammad.
Good point.
yeah,
That's like people go to the Super Bowl who don't care about
yeah.
football.
It was
You know?
more to see a superstar.
Yeah.
I think. But I would remember as a kid going, "Oh, good, I'm gonna go see this fight," and then they like trundle me down to the nursery in the casino. But I'm in this nursery in the casino, which it was right looked out on the casino floor, which is hilarious to me. In the sands, I think. No, it was at the dunes. But I remember as a kid just being pressed up against that glass, looking out at the casino floor, and it was people in gowns and tuxedos and drinking martinis and smoking, and I was like, I want that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it put me on a lifelong mission to figure out martinis, and so in my 20s, I was drinking vodka martinis, which, as we know, is not a real martini. But I didn't know it back then until I read this book about cocktails, and they said the only real martini is a gin martini.
Which brings me to my next point. You've written a book about cocktails.
I certainly have.
The ultimate guide to grown-up fun. It's
Yes.
called Cocktail Time
Here,
by
here.
Paul Feig. And you tell some stories.
There's some really funny things in there.
some great recipes.
Yeah, you got everything. How to set up your bar, how to throw a party, how to...
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, my
that's
wife and I need
good
to-
advice.
And you have,
Is
by
that
the way,
Sydney Sweeney?
you have a
Not
no,
yet.
that's not. You have this
You put
classic-
that in there.
I did. I put a picture. I covered Paul's picture.
That's my place.
You
Mike.
should.
This is a total aside, but it's a mildly funny story about Muhammad Ali.
Oh, please, bring it.
So I grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia,
Nice.
and Muhammad Ali resided there for a while. And I worked for the NBC affiliate when I was in high school, but almost every night he would call into the newsroom because he had commentary about the news story.
Really?
Pre-internet.
Yeah. And it took about a week for people to realize that, no, this is really Muhammad Ali calling. And he really had an affinity for a reporter of ours, this Italian kid named Carm Aiello. And that's how he signed off all of his. I'm Carm Aiello. And one day Muhammad Ali called. He said, I want to talk to that reporter, Carm Pause a Beat Aiello. And that's how we do it. But
Pause a beat.
That's how Paul Harvey.
But I actually did. I have never met Muhammad Ali, but I did speak to him on the phone several times.
There you go. I call that meeting.
That's good. It was
Now,
rushed with greatness.
I have to bring this next topic up, or
Yeah.
my son will never speak to me again. Heavyweights.
Yes.
You played a camp counselor in heavyweight.
I did. Tim, the formerly overweight camp counselor,
But-
no longer in the movie.
What Ben Stiller, just a genius. But what was it like
Hilarious.
on that set?
It was a fun set. All those kids were really funny. Keenan Thompson was one of the kids.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's right.
You just knew he was funny just out of the gate. He was just a hilarious kid. It was fun. When you're wrangling a bunch of kids on a movie set, it's definitely a lot of work, but they were all really smart kids. And we were in Hendersonville, North Carolina, shooting the whole thing. And it was a lot of fun.
As an actor, do you prefer the movie set or the TV set?
Movie set, definitely. Oh, he's an actor. When you're an actor, a set's a set. When you're a director, I much prefer a film set. Yeah.
When you sit down to look at, or obviously we've got the next movie coming out on the 19th. What are you looking at next? What do you look for? You said you like to try different genres.
Yeah.
So what would be like, what's something you haven't done that you really want to do?
I'd love to do a musical, definitely. And I'd love to be a sci-fi epic would be fun. I'd love to do a Western. But what I look for is really trying to figure out what is going to work for a wide swath of the audience. Because I'm a commercial filmmaker. I'm a studio filmmaker. I'm not making movies to win awards.
You're not doing art house stuff.
No, I'm not. I love art house stuff, but I want to make movies that are populist, like for a lot of people. And so we don't win awards when you do that, but you entertain a lot of people.
Is there this like inherent bias though against
Very much so.
these wonderful films that entertain, as you say, a wide swath of the audience, and they get overlooked because they're not artsy?
Oh no, totally. No,
but they're great movies.
Even like my new movie, The Housemaid, people really like it. It's been playing huge, and like all the press and everybody who's seen it really love it. But like sometimes they'll go, "Oh, it's so great. It's clearly not an awards movie, but it's," and I'm like, "Why not?"
Time out. Thanks for that.
Because it's entertaining. Because you had a good time.
Because a lot of people like it.
Yeah, exactly. But
And we wish Sydney Sweeney hadn't said that, because it would.
yeah, there you go. No, but it's
So you talked about Ghostbusters when we were talking earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like this is an example of something. You do great work. Everybody loves it. I love the movie. The people that were in it had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
And you took a bunch of shit for it.
Yeah, tons of shit. Yeah. I mean, I was a babe in the woods when I did that because I'd had a great relationship with the internet because of Freaks and Geeks and Bridesmaids and The Heat and Spy and all that. But then when I announced I was going to do this female Ghostbusters, I thought everybody was going to be really happy because all I do is work with funny women. So what else would I do? And then suddenly everybody's all upset. But it was just a bad time. I think it was a bad.
Had it come out another time, it might have been.
2016 was just a weird year. Everybody was looking for a fight. Everybody was looking to be offended.
And
And I haven't stopped since.
Not on my feed.
but you took a Ghostbusters is a beloved film, the original.
The original, yeah, totally.
And I think people have this weird reverence. I love the movie. I think it's hilarious. It was a formative film when I was a kid when I watched it. And so you took and turned it on its head a little bit.
But we tried
not a lot.
Yeah, I know. And I tried to be, it was weird. Like I didn't, here's the thing. Like I think you're younger than me. So
not by much.
Okay. I think everybody else saw it when they were much younger. I was in film school when it came out. So we all went down because we were like, oh my God, we love Bill Murray and all these funny guys from SNL. We can't wait. So we just thought it was this hilarious movie. But for a bunch of younger guys, I didn't realize it was like canon,
It's absolutely.
So
it became canon.
Yeah, so I was going like, this would be fun. Let's just redo this, and I don't want to compete with the original one, so I'll just reboot it with a female cast, and I won't offend anybody. Offended a lot of people, apparently. Exactly.
But every day you got to be on set with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig and
Kate McKinnon.
Leslie Jones.
The great Leslie Jones. Yeah. No,
would you do it again?
Totally.
Would you do Ghostbusters 2?
I'm sure. Why not?
He's already told you he's in the business to make money.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. If people wanted it. Look,
If we can sell tickets, we're going to make that movie.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. But the nice thing is, like, people now, so many people are fans of the movie and their kids love the movie. So I'm just like, you know what? If I pissed off a bunch of like middle-aged guys, I can't help that.
We're easily pissed off.
Yeah,
exactly.
More and more by the day.
That's right.
So
That's right.
talk a little bit about your relationship with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, I love Melissa. She's great. I met her when we did Bridesmaids. She was one of the last people we auditioned for that role. She was a friend of Kristen and Annie Mumolo, who co-wrote the movie with Kristen.
And what she did for that film.
Yeah, we were having a hard time casting that role. That was the one role we couldn't find the right person for. And then she came in at the last minute and was so funny and did it so different than anybody else had done it. And yeah, because of that, we ended up doing 3 more movies together. And it wasn't every one of those we didn't plan on doing it. It's just like the heat came in and it was written for somebody else, but I read it, I was like, I think Melissa would be funny for this. And then I wrote Spy for somebody else.
What a great movie.
The person didn't want to do it, so I sent it to Melissa and she wanted to do it.
Who did you write it for?
I can't tell you.
Leslie Jones?
Yes, exactly. That's right.
5.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert, but how many people would have thought to put Jason Statham in that role? You brought something out in him that I don't think we had seen before, had we?
I was such a huge fan of Jason. But when I wrote that script, the studio was like, oh, so this is going to be like Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller. I was like, no, it's going to be Jason Statham. Like, I just wrote it specifically for Jason Statham. And then it ended up...
He says no?
Yes, I know. They're trying to booze me up here, everybody. Listeners at home.
More drinks.
I'm going to find out who he wrote that for.
Exactly.
No, just me, Mo. Just me.
There you go. No, it was, so I brought Jason in. I was a huge fan, and I had asked him to come in for a general meeting, because when you're a director, you got to do that. You got to meet stars like on a general meeting sometimes. Yeah. But I was really nervous because I was such a big fan. And I was like, maybe he's really like he is in the movies.
Uptight.
Yeah, and he'd go punch me or something. Well, then I met him.
It's not Dolph Lundgren. You're safe.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. And he was the most lovely, just charming guy. And I was just like, I love this guy. And he just kind of went for it.
Did you see him as being able to be funny?
Yes, because he did 2 movies called Crank and Crank 2.
I remember Crank.
Yes. Yeah. And if you see, those movies are so insane that I said, he's got to be funny. He's got to know this is
He couldn't
funny.
have done that without having some humor.
Yeah, there's no way you do that movie and not know this is ridiculous. And he came in and when he came in to do a little read through for me, he said, oh, should I play this funny? I said, Jason, this is the most serious movie you've ever done in your life. Treat it this such. And so he read all these lines really serious, and it was hilarious. So I was like, okay, go away. I'll be seeing you on the set. Don't rehearse. Just show up.
And then you've got Jude, who's an Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
Jude Law.
Yeah.
In that same movie.
That was a good save. You figured out Jude's last name really quickly.
What's that?
That was a good save. You figured out Jude's last name really
quickly.
Well,
I knew it. I just wanted to act like I knew him.
Oh, yeah.
When Jude and I were talking about
the Beatles wrote a song about him. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Hey.
When he was a little kid.
All right. When you have this, I'm thinking about Bridesmaids. When you have that kind of comedic talent on set, as a director, how do you manage all of that? Because all of these people, I know they're professional actors and they know their lines, but there's got to be a lot of just like crazy energy on those sets.
Yeah, you play. The big thing is, like my detractors like to say, oh, they just get on the improv everything. No, we don't improv everything. We work really hard on the script, and so every scene has a very distinct pattern it has to follow, a blueprint. But then within that, you go, let's try a different joke here, try a different thing here, try this. So it's organized chaos a little bit because they're weighing in, they're trying things. I'm having ideas in the moment. I've got writers on set with me who are writing jokes and handing them to me. And so we just get all this stuff, and then we sort it out in the editing room.
Do you have a job for? I'd like to be one of those. Like, none of my jokes have to be in the movie. I just like to write them.
Handed, please.
I'll get you a Post-it pad. Exactly.
Could
Patrick,
you
this
imagine having handwritten rejection notes from Paul Feig?
This is still shit.
No, I just sometimes the hand down goes, look like
It's just a different color pen.
Exactly. And now you guys are digging. No, this is not.
People I said are like, isn't this the weather guy from Palm Springs? What the hell is he doing on the set?
How early on did you know that you were going to be able to make a living doing this? Or were you one of those that had to have 15 different... I know you were a tour guide at Universal Studios. Were you doing that while you were acting?
No, that brought me out when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did that for a summer just because I wanted to get out to California. And that's where I found out about USC Film School. And then I applied and I got in there. So it was a winding road to get to where it was. No, I just...
But with the goal clear in mind.
Yeah. You have the goal. My goal was to be like Woody Allen. I wanted to write, direct, and star in my own stuff. So that's...
that side of his life.
Yeah, not the other side, please. I got enough controversy.
And how'd you do with that?
I got enough controversy, trust me.
Randy.
I don't need any more.
Trying to break news here.
Look at you.
Oh, Randy.
Mr. Clickbait over here.
I know. Yeah.
Exactly. No, but it was so you...
What does Paul Feig have in common with Woody Allen?
Find out on Big Conversation. Oh, it's nothing. Okay.
It's
nothing.
Film at 11.
That's right. No, but like the grand, I think if you're an ambitious person, you have the grand ambition, and then you adjust the ambition as you go and go, oh, if I go this way, I'll just act right now. I'm not going to write and direct my own stuff too. And then that kind of leads you around here. I'm writing now, but then when I made that movie that took for $30,000, I actually starred in it too, and just kind of went, I don't know, I don't think I'm good enough to do this. So it's like, but I'm
tough
really...
notes from your director when you're...
It's really tough.
I'm sorry. You were not good enough.
I was sleeping with a director.
Fired.
It did not work. Exactly. You think it would pay off, but it showed me. I think like the smartest people and most successful people know to pivot, but whilst keeping your eye on the prize that you want. I think people who are less successful are kind of scattershot. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And it's you got to go. There's the goal, and however I can get to it. And maybe the goal is over to the side, but it's still on the same target that I want to hit. Because as a kid, I would never have told you I was just going to be a director, producer. But now I'm thrilled that I am. And yeah, I just love it.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what made you guys decide to come to the Coachella Valley? Obviously, you've been visiting for a while, but to call it home is a different thing.
Yeah, we'd been coming for years. Like my wife's parents used to rent a place in La Quinta in the 90s. We would come out here, but it was very different out here.
There wasn't anything out there in the 90s. A couple of golf courses.
Then we come to Old Palm Springs, and it was very like golf pants and like old Republicans and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I like this place very much.
It's just Eisenhower walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
Rolling.
But then when we started coming in the last 10 years, because a friend of ours bought a place in the Smoke Tree. And suddenly it was like, this place is fun now. Like we're going to all these different restaurants, and like the club scenes are really fun. And so that kind of enticed us. And I kept going, because we have a place in New York that I love. To go to New York, you got to get on a plane, and it's a whole ordeal. I was like, it'd be so great to have our getaway place be like an hour and a half from our house in a car.
Yeah.
And then friends of ours bought the old Donna Reed estate. And when my wife went in there, she was like, I could live in a place like this. Because it's just
mid-century?
No, not mid-century at all. It's more kind of that 30s, like Spanish Tudor kind of thing. And so that made us go like, maybe, because we were living in London a lot of the time. And I'd been wanting to kind of get out of London. We did it for 4 years. I made 3 movies there and just burned out a little bit. But she loved it. And I wanted to get her back to here. So when she saw that, then I was shooting a movie in Italy, Another Simple Favor, and we had a real estate friend was sending me links to properties here. And I was looking for mid-century modern because I thought that's what I wanted. And then she sent one link that was for the Spanish restoration. And I was just like, oh, that's the place. And so we bought it without seeing it. I had to buy it online. Fortunately, we had a couple of friends here we sent there to see it.
Wow.
And they but still, you don't know what the energy is.
Right.
Yeah, you don't.
So I come back from Italy. It's like, okay, let's go see the house I just bought.
That really cheap little home I just bought.
Oh my God. I know. But fortunately, it's like heaven on earth. We still walk around. We've been there for a year and a half now. We feel like we've been hit in the head. It's just like, how did this happen? It's so fantastic.
And you have a new family member in there too.
We do. There's a new dog, Kevin, yes, the Scottish Terrier, the Wheaton Scottish Terrier.
Wheaton, so that's an unusual color for us. It's a tan.
Yeah, he's tan. He looks like a little bear. He's very cute.
Oh,
yeah, he's very sweet. But he's 6 months old, and he's the newest member of the Palm Springs community.
Oh,
yes,
and cute.
they did cute. Exactly.
I grew up with Scotties.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had Scotties.
Oh my gosh,
as a
that's all
kid.
we've ever had.
Oh,
Yeah.
now we're a dachshund family.
Oh, long-haired or short-haired?
Short.
Okay, very.
My wife really wants a long-haired dachshund.
They're so cute.
Oh,
they're honestly, I think the cutest dogs I've ever seen.
But they're of that family. The dachshunds, Scotties, Basset, Corgis,
Yeah.
long, low to the ground.
yes, exactly.
They're
Back
all
problems and
Yes,
exactly.
yes. So,
Are they yappers?
the dachshunds are. Scotty's, our Scotty, Jerry, the one that I remember from my childhood,
Yeah.
was never a barker.
They come out wanting to be barkers, but they're very easy to stop from barking. You have the jar of coins, and so they bark. You just shake the coin, and then they'll eventually get it out of
But
them.
they have a big bark.
Big bark
for-
and big giant mouth, too.
Yeah.
Like, they got like a wolf-sized mouth. We can't buy toys. You put a toy down, and it's gone. Well, what happened to that toy? There's a pile of fluff there.
Yeah, the dachshunds are the same way because they were bred to hunt badgers.
Okay.
Mine hunt treats.
Successfully.
But they'll eviscerate a pillow
Yeah.
in no time.
Because Scotties are ratters, so they
That's
were
right.
bred to go into the hole. That's why you see a Scotty, you think it's so funny that he's shaking a toy. And you go, oh, no, he's just breaking a rat's neck.
Yeah, yeah.
So, he's
Super
actually
cute.
It's a
psycho
metaphor.
killer. Yes, exactly.
Merry Christmas, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the puppy.
He's so cute.
So let me go back. Are there any projects that you wanted to do that you lost out on?
There's one that I turned down that I'm not going to say what it is, so you're not going to get exclusive here, but it was one that was
Same
actually...
actress?
No, it's completely different. I don't
Look,
want people
you
to get...
took them out to lunch and you greased the skids and we're still getting nothing.
I know.
I heard all the stories, though. They were
I
great.
got to keep working in this business. Exactly. No, but it was one that became a very popular film that spawned some franchise, sequels. But I still go
Lord of
like,
the Rings.
It was Star Wars.
Exactly. That's right.
Marvel.
It was Star Wars.
But I still look at it and go, I don't think I would have done as good of a job because I couldn't click into the scripts in the way that I should have because it was a little more violent than
All
I
right,
normally do.
I'm curious. Okay, that actually half
Silence
answered
of
my
the
question.
Lambs. It's a series.
I wish. That movie I would make
You know,
in a
Silence
heartbeat.
of the Lambs is a comedy.
Yes.
Would kill.
Yes,
I actually
exactly.
just saw something on
Well,
Instagram where they turned it into a
romantic-
rom-com.
Yes.
Was that hilarious?
Hilarious. It's hilarious. With
Yeah.
the different music and the narrator. He was a guy in prison. She was a working gal from the FBI.
So good. That's so good. She went to UVA in the movie, by the way.
Oh.
Jodie Foster's character was it? I
Oh,
just
there
think
you
that's
go.
really-
There you go. See?
When you're looking for scripts, and like we were talking about the Housemaid,
Yeah.
great source material, but you write a lot of your stuff.
Yeah. And I do a lot of rewriting and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting to me because you just said it was a little too violent. That was not your vibe.
It had a lot of gunplay. I'm not a gun guy. I actually enjoy violence in movies. I just don't like gun violence.
Look, I just want someone to beat the hell out of me. with
I like more
fists.
human violence. Exactly. Right.
All right, so gun violence is a turnoff. What like when you're reading? Because I'm sure you get sent scripts.
Yeah, we get
All the time.
Tons. Yeah. I want high emotional stakes and extreme situations. That's what I love.
Because that's where the comedy is, and
that's
the drama.
where they're intertwined. Yeah, comedy is all about extreme characters and extreme situations, and so are thrillers and horror movies. So if you can get the two together, again, that movie Weapons, I thought, was a great illustration of that this year. Where I saw it in Palm Springs at the festival theaters, and I was in there. It was like a matinee. There's only a couple other couples in there with me, and the first half I'm just terrified, and the second half I'm just laughing. But some of the people in there were kind of looking at me like, "Why are you laughing?" It's like, no, you guys, you don't realize. This filmmaker wants you to laugh. I know when they're laughing. And Zach Kreger, who directed that, he's a comedy guy. So a lot of us comedy guys, like I was saying, we're drifting that way because then you kind of get the best of all worlds.
That movie Nope.
Yeah, Nope is great.
Jordan Peele, he's going down that road.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And
at that
I'm
stuff.
laughing through a lot of those scenes.
Yeah, or the Megan movies. I think those are hilarious.
Yeah.
Those are comedies, but you're invested and you're scared and you're worried about these characters. And that's, if you can get those two emotions out of an audience, then you have a hit movie on your hands.
There you go. Some of your contemporaries, who are the folks that you admire that you were working with or competing with?
Oh, gosh. Oh, Jordan Peele, I think, is brilliant. I think he's so great. I like that Zach Kreger, I think, is really smart because I love Barbarian, that movie he did. I thought it was great. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I've seen. There's a movie called Bottoms that came out recently that's hilarious. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Great movie.
Do you like all like the Simon Pegg stuff? And,
Yeah. Edgar Wright is a good
Edgar
friend of
Wright,
mine.
yeah.
Yeah. I love all Edgar's stuff. I haven't seen Running Man yet, but I need to see it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think Edgar's brilliant. And he's a sweet guy, too. But yeah, it's that attention to wanting to build those two emotions, to have something that's tense and this action-packed, but also is fun. And it's but these characters are all kind of weirdos. And that's where you get all the laughs.
I think it's hard. And you may tell me I'm not right. I think it's hard to develop these characters that you get really invested in.
It's really the hardest thing in the world. That's why I love movies. I have a TV deal and we're doing television too in my company, but I love movies more than anything. And it plays for the same reason. You've got 2 hours, let's say, give or take, to introduce people to characters they've never met before, make them care about them within the first few minutes, if you can, take them through a whole journey with these people and end it in a way that is so satisfying. They go, wow, that was great. I had a complete experience.
And I'll come see this again.
Yeah, totally. That's the hardest thing in the world to do, to get people to care about characters right out of the gate. That's why we're always having to figure out what's sympathetic about this character. That's why you meet so many comedies are about like a loser who's down on his luck or her luck. Because we're all like, oh, we've been losers too, or we've had terrible things happen to us. And so you invest in that person. It's hard to get people invested in, he's the slickest lawyer in town. He's got millions of dollars. And you're like, what do I care about that guy?
What was there a first film where you said, that was it, they got it?
Yeah. The movies I loved were, when I was young, I loved like Marx Brothers movies and all that, which is just jokes, just hilarious. But I thought the movie that really affected me the most, and I still to this day say it's my favorite movie, even though there's other movies I like more, is It's a Wonderful Life. Just because it does everything a movie's supposed to do. You get so invested in those characters and you laugh and you cry and you're so with it and it's satisfying at the end and you're crying with joy at the end.
Yeah.
That's how a movie should work.
Written in La Quinta.
Oh, you're right. Exactly.
The resort.
Yeah, because we used to we'd walk past the Frank Capra
Yeah.
That's right.
thing. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, totally.
There's so much Hollywood history out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you, it being, you said, obsessed with Bob Hope.
Yes, exactly. All those guys. William Powell is my hero.
Oh, wow.
Like even more than Cary Grant or Fred Astaire, William Powell is like my style icon. I think he was so funny and so cool and just so loose. He was like the Robert Downey Jr. of his days, just like cool and tossing stuff out and all
Are
that.
there characters that you've written thinking,
No, because that's actually, he's too cool of a character
cool.
for my movies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
he wasn't in Heavyweights? huh?
No, he was not. He was not. But I love those old pictures of like, there's those pictures of Frank Sinatra in his living room with the giant thing of cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing in the world to me. Like the people just, yeah, grab a pack of cigarettes. Everybody smoke.
That's right.
Like I wish I smoked. I tried my whole life to smoke and I can't do it. I get sick as a dog if I try it. It saved my
I
life.
want to ask you about somebody who was one of my all-time favorite performers, Gary Shandling.
Oh, Shandling.
Talk
he was a
about
pal.
being around Gary and that whole team.
Yeah, Gary was brilliant. Gary, not only was he hilarious and so smart, but he was a teacher. He really wanted to teach you things. Like he would take anybody under his wing and with scripts or with just the ideology of comedy, he was just the greatest. And one of my last encounters I had with him, he came to the premiere of Bridesmaids and he loved it so much. He pulled me aside right as I was walking out of the premiere for 15 minutes, just telling me all the stuff he loved about it. And it was just like so special to me. And it was just such a tragedy that we lost him so early.
Yeah, he was something else.
Yeah.
Too young.
Just the greatest.
That was one of those other people I saw on The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And I remember his very first appearance. That was a special talent.
Yeah.
I remember his one line He has a mirror above his bed that says objects are larger than they appear.
Exactly.
The line that I remember about Gary Shandling is, and it was on the Tonight Show, and he said, people asked me, did I have plastic surgery? And I said, oh, yeah. Just make me look funny right around here, the nose and the lips.
But remember those old days of the Tonight Show when you would watch somebody become a star?
Yeah.
I remember seeing Roseanne the first time she was on, and you just like, oh my God, somebody just launched into superstar.
And you knew because Carson called him
bring him
over.
Well, that's the thing, when you get brought over, exactly. But when you hear the band laughing, but that was the whole thing. Do you get called over to like Johnny?
I mean, like, obviously, you grew up watching Carson.
Yeah.
And it was funny. You were talking about Jay Leno. Carson had the ability, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it was corny.
Yeah.
It was a made-for-TV.
What he was brilliant at, in that what Letterman did a version of too, Johnny would tell jokes that were corny, and then he'd do that look, and his ears would go back, and it was kind of like, you and I know this is stupid.
Yes.
And that was so great. And what Letterman would do is he would tell these, he was great at interacting with the camera. His whole thing was, the audience here is stupid. You and I are in on this joke. And he had this, nobody could communicate with a camera better than Letterman in his heyday.
Wow. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a great dissection of it. And the thing about Jay Leno that I thought why he wasn't a Carson could let his guests be funny.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's
Jay Leno always had to try to be as funny as his guest.
Yeah.
And I like Jay Leno a lot. I've seen him.
Yeah. He's
He should have had me as a guest. It would have been an easy hour.
But Carson never tried to one-up his guests.
No.
But see, that's true. And I've seen that with so many talk show hosts over the years of they're like waiting. Yeah, you could always see like Leno, he couldn't wait for the in to make his joke. Yeah.
Could you do that job?
I would love to do that
Yeah?
job. I would love to.
You ever talk to anybody about it?
Nah, I'd rather direct movies. But I'd like to be a game show host, to be quite honest. I think that would be the most fun gig in the
And
world.
there's some money in
Oh,
there.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I grew up wanting to do.
Yeah.
I watched Gene Rayburn on Match
Oh,
Game.
my God. Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
that
And I
long
thought, he's not an
microphone.
attractive man. I can do this.
Yeah.
Just give me a long microphone. And
Yeah, kinda make
That
fun
was
of-
actually a host show of not very attractive people. When I think about it,
there were some great people on it, like Nelson Riley,
Oh.
who was, by the way, a great director of
Yeah.
theater.
Theater. Oh, no, totally. Very
Yeah.
much. Brett
and a real
Summers.
babe.
Brett Summer.
Look at you. What do you...
That was my point to all of
We've
it.
done 150s, and you get weirder every time.
Yes, yes, the momentum
He's the
carries.
only one who's not drinking, too.
I know.
That's why it's
If you have
There's
a
no-
few more, I'll be really
There's
funny.
no excuse.
a little worrisome.
So what's up after The Handmaid, Housemaid?
The Housemaid.
Why do I keep doing
Great
that?
work.
The Housemaid's Tale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right, really. That's right. We're lumping them all together.
Yeah.
We got 3 movies that are, it's a little bit of a horse race to see which one's going to go first. We're developing, I'm rewriting 2 of them right now. And
How busy are you?
very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a company because, like I said, we have a TV deal at Warner Brothers. I have a movie deal at
What's the
Lionsgate.
TV stuff? What can
TV
we,
stuff, it's a lot of stuff we're just
And
trying
who's the
to,
actress?
There's a bunch.
Stop it.
That's right, really. We got a bunch we're out pitching right now. We got 4 or 5 projects that we're out pitching to the town with really good talent attached.
Where's the TV synergy right now? Is it Netflix? It's not network TV. I hate to say that, given what I do for a living.
No,
but
TV's in a weird place right now. I
Yeah.
mean, you've touched the thing that I'm obsessed with right now because I don't understand how TV works anymore. Because you're from television, my friend. It used to be you would set up a show and the goal was to go 100 episodes and then it goes into syndication and everybody makes a bunch of money.
makes a bunch of money.
Now there's no aftermarket. It's all for streamers. There's not much syndication anymore. If they're doing it, it's all Seinfeld and whatever. So the financial, I don't know how the center holds, to be quite honest. I've had 3 shows now that have gotten 2 seasons and got canceled. Everything now, if you look, is 2 seasons and it gets canceled because they're like, yeah, we did it. There's no incentive to go to 100 episodes. So I honestly don't see how the center holds other than they're getting subscriber money, so they have to keep giving them new stuff. But it's a weird time. Like movies, I know what movies do. They've got an afterlife. They go here and there, especially theatrical. Streaming movies, my last 3 movies were streamers, 1 for Netflix and 2 for Amazon. Very grateful I got to make them. It was during pandemic and the aftermath of that. But it's very unsatisfying because your movie comes out, it's on the streamer, and it's on the streamer, and that's it. Whereas movies, you come out
World
theatrically.
premieres.
No, you come out theatrically, so you're in theaters, then you're going to be on pay-per-view, then you got to have a DVD, then you go to cable, then you go to network. There was all this chance for people to discover your movie. With streamers,
and
if they don't
chance to make money on every.
Yeah.
Totally. You get a buyout, which is nice. You get paid. They pay you a little bit more because there's no back end. And then you'll get like a little bonus, which is nice. But at the same time, it's not this meritocracy that you used to have with theatrical, where you're like, okay, I'm going to take less money here. But then in success, we all make some money. And so
the rising tide raises all the boats.
Yeah, and I prefer that. I'd rather have that pressure. And also just there's nothing like having your movie in a theater in front of people. It's just
We had a
best.
previous guest on here, Bill Getty, who talked about what was happening with TV, and almost there wasn't a future for it.
No, I don't think that's what he said.
That's what I heard.
I know. But that's because you don't work
TV's dead.
It's true.
Unless it's local
No,
news.
not that guy, exactly. They keep saying theaters are dead. I don't believe everybody's always decrying the death of something.
I will say that the model may be on life support for some of what you do and some of what I do. Obviously, very different local television.
Yeah.
But I think there will be a different model that will continue.
Yeah.
One thing, local matters, and there will not be 3 affiliates. There won't be an ABC, NBC, CBS in every market. One company's going to own all that.
I know the antitrust things are that's a whole other topic.
It is a whole lot. But I'm at present sort of the beneficiary of that. But
Yeah.
I think we're moving in that direction. And I don't know where this FCC is going, but
Another drink, please.
We'll start our next hour. Now you want
Patrick
another
won't be back for the next hour.
No, I'm going to be back. But it is interesting in your business because, as you say, the aftermarket for produce it, it's in a theater, and then there's this long run post, and now the streaming world has really disrupted that.
Yeah, it's the model's going to have to change. I think already Netflix is licensing out their stuff. They have to. There's no way you can survive without that.
It's really funny to me because there was a buddy of mine is a guy named Dana Brunetti who produced House of Cards on.
Oh yeah.
And Dana invented we're just going to drop it and you can watch it whenever you want.
Yeah, the binge. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was his thing. He's like, why? I'm not going to drop an episode a week. Like we made it.
Yeah.
Here it is. At some point, that model too has, and it's funny to me because a lot of these streaming services now have introduced. They're back to the old model where we run ads.
That's what I was going to say. I don't decry the death of network television because now people are realizing they're unsatisfied with binging because there always been like studies that say the depression is high when you binge something.
That's right. You're down.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I love that cake. I'm going to eat the whole cake. And then you're like, oh, fuck, why did I eat that cake? So there is something nice about I got to wait a week for this thing. I got to wait a week. So every time I've been in the business long enough, boys, to have heard everything said it's dying. Movie theaters are dead. TV is dead. All this stuff. And it's not, because movie theaters are never going to die because people don't want to sit in their houses. They want to go out and have a group experience. Television is going to work because people want to sit at home and watch stuff.
Well, but that group experience is important.
Yeah.
I don't go to a lot of movies, honestly.
Yeah.
But when I really want to see a film, I want to see it with people.
Yeah.
And you want to have that shared experience.
Naked Gun.
There you go.
That is probably the last film we saw. And
There you
I
go.
regret that to my
We kept looking at each other like,
I did not see it. But what I will say, though, is why your favorite movies from your past are your favorite movies from your past is because it's probably because you saw it with an audience. You had that reaction going on around you. And every time you watch it now, that audience is in your head. And you remember, oh, this got a huge laugh. Oh, that was so fun. I didn't even know that was funny. And then people laugh. So that's what you're missing if you only experience it. Look, we've all found movies we love in aftermarket on television, but the ones you really have that connection with, and I would dare say, going back to Ghostbusters, was when you were sitting there watching this for the first time, whether you were either with your friends or you're in a big theater of people, that's the thing that connects you.
yeah, there's even some of them like Ghostbusters that they just put it out again last year.
Well,
we
yeah.
went back to theater.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
I'm a big fan of like re-releasing movies.
Yeah.
I think you should.
All right, so last Probably last question.
6 hours has been a pretty long episode.
It's been a long
Let's keep
episode.
going, boys.
You say you're a science.
So we don't have to do this again.
No, he's never coming back.
You'll chop this up.
You say you're a science fiction guy.
Yeah.
What are your favorites?
I'm a Star Wars guy.
Okay, you're
a
Star
Star
Wars.
Trek guy. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right,
Happy
Chewbacca,
birthday.
go home.
There was a high five that went down.
All right, so you're a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
Could you see a world where you direct a Star Wars film?
No,
No?
because I would love to, but I do not want to step in that morass of the rabbit.
fandom's
yeah.
toxic.
You don't want to go to a Comic-Con and explain your last script?
I've been to Comic-Cons, and I do not want to go to that.
I've been to Comic-Cons for Ghostbusters, of course.
Oh, that's right.
Because I had a great idea for a comedy Star Wars episode, or not episode, but like a one that could fit into that world. And I was talking to Kathy Kennedy about it for a while, and then it just kind of all fell apart. But I was just like, oh man, dude, I can't step into that toxic fandom anymore.
It is a toxic fandom.
Yeah. And here's
Randy, it's toxic.
there we go. But let me say
It
this.
doesn't happen on Star Trek at all.
As an older gentleman, I will tell you this, and this is why I get so frustrated with Star Wars. I saw Star Wars, not the opening weekend, the second weekend. My best friend saw it the first weekend, said, you got to go see it. In that theater, the packed theater, it was a laugh a minute. That movie, the original Star Wars, gets a laugh a minute. It like between Han
It's
Solo and the
campy.
funny lines and the thing, the let the Wookiee win, all that stuff. It just all these laughs. And then the Empire Strikes Back, kind of the same thing, starting to take itself a little seriously, but still funny. And then
Jar.
what? Exactly.
jeez.
Even though the Ewoks, I'm sorry.
Oh, the Ewoks. No, but
But
Return
then-
of the Jedi was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But then why is look, I think the Star Wars shows are really great, but why is it so fucking serious right now? It should be fun. It was based on Flash Gordon. He couldn't do Flash Gordon, so he did Star Wars. Why is everything so serious now? It makes me crazy. There you go.
Yeah, why is it?
That's my
I don't know. I'm not
That's
a
my
Star
Star
Wars
Wars
guy. I'm a Star
Patrick,
Trek guy.
see, that's why you should
Stewart.
be there. Exactly.
Oh, he made it serious. He made the whole genre serious.
No, it was Captain Kirk and his whole making out with the space aliens. and
Yeah,
all that
He
Making
just
up-
saw William Shatner a week ago.
Really? Where? What?
They did a screening of The Wrath of Khan
Oh my God! Where?
in Anaheim. He does it around the country.
Oh, that's hilarious.
and then he comes out and does a Q&A.
Con.
But my favorite part about that, and I think you'll appreciate this, it's hilarious because they hired a guy, and I'm sure they paid him probably $100,000 to be the moderator of the Q&A.
Nice.
Shatner just stood up.
His monologue.
But like that guy sat there, and finally, about 20 minutes before he was like, okay, Susie wants to know.
Really.
What are you doing here, dude?
In episode 143, clearly.
The left shoe.
It was really very funny because someone asked a question like, what's your favorite Star Trek? Because I don't watch any of it. I don't watch the ones I'm on.
That's the famous sketch from SNL. Get alive.
Get alive. That's a good Shatner.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Feig. I mean, come
What
on.
was this?
Thanks, guys.
Oh, this was awesome.
We should end the podcast. We won't.
No, let's
But
not
we-
end
Let's
it.
just
but
keep
we
going.
should,
The
but,
never-ending podcast.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. No, it's so
It meant
too
a
much
lot to
fun.
have you here,
This
Paul.
is so cool.
And
I
welcome
know.
to Palm Springs.
I'm so happy here. We love it so much.
I don't know if you noticed. He said they've been here for a year and a half. We haven't run into them, so we don't run in the same circles.
Well,
Just saying.
get ready. It's coming. I just would like to have
Nobody comes to La Quinta.
I'd like to have it known that I am now an icon of Palm Springs.
100%.
As of
right. I'm
December
gonna be at the
8th,
Icon show. That's
December
right.
8th, I became an icon of Palm Springs.
That's it's December 8th.
With
Yeah.
Lucy Arnaz and Billy Stritch and
And
Michael
Sinatra.
Holmes.
and then a restaurant too. Isn't there? One of the icons is a building, I think.
It may be.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's cool. I love that.
You'll have to move over a little on the set when it comes
The
in.
building's got more personality than I do. Trust me.
It has been our delight, our pleasure,
Sure has.
Paul Feig. Thank you so much.
Thank you, fellas.
Just a super fun afternoon with you.
Too much fun.
And a hug and a kiss to Lori and Kevin for
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Kevin.
We'll be seeing you soon. And
Yeah.
you all have to come over to the new Casa de Feig.
I'm 100% in. I can't wait to meet Kevin.
Excellent.
He'll sing Summer Winds for you.
Oh, good. Excellent. I have
Yeah,
some
you have a
cheese, so I
piano?
have some summer winds, but I want to tell you, good night. That's the kind of jokes you get.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our thanks to Mr. Skip Paige and the entire staff here at Little Bar and, of course, the McCallum Theater, our guest, Paul Feig, my co-host, Randy Florence. Brilliant job of research as usual.
Not bad. I just printed off a bunch of stuff.
Look at you. Can I do a shout out to the Little Bar? This place is fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody
So,
come.
They're
If
gonna
you want to meet Paul, he'll be here on Thursdays, so just drop by.
Exactly. I'll be bussing. Please tip your waiters.
Listen, subscribe so that you never miss an episode of Big Conversations Little Bar. We're just delighted. Paul, you're terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Big Conversations, Little Bar is a production of the Mutual Broadcasting System. This podcast is available in audio and video format. Visit our website at www.bigconversationslittle.bar.com. New episodes are released every Monday.
Athletes and dreamers, stars of the screen, leaders and builders, and all in between, sharing their journeys, how they've come this far. It's Big Conversations, Little Bar, at Big Conversations, Little Bar.